Let's take a look at tomorrow's. Rachel Agnew is here.
We've got Mr Paul Ross and we've got Rachel Agnew.
Let's talk about this with Fiona Weir from the charity Gingerbread, and also to Rachel Agnew.
Here with today's top news, please welcome presenter Rachel Agnew. It's the loose woman you chose. She's Rachel Agnew.
Because I am, if you don't know, the voice of cashier number 3, please. So I hear myself all over the place, and I think when you first hear your voice on a, you know, even on an answer phone or something, when you've recorded your message, you hate it. You think it doesn't sound like you. And then, of course, when it's in every shop on the high street that you go into, you can't help but think, oh, yeah, that'll be me again. And especially when your 7-year-old points it out and says, is that you, Mummy?
I do. I do. When I hear you, I go, that's Rachel, you know.
We all do. How do you teach social interaction? And physical interaction is really important.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
OK, they're here, everybody. But how do you teach that if you don't allow... And apparently it's anything. It's high-fiving, it's shaking hands. That's such an important part of growth and development. My view is, and from what I understand of this change, is that actually what it's doing is bringing the age earlier, so from 5, when kids are, or the youngest child is in full-time education, then they would change from getting income support to job seekers allowance. The actual amounts would remain the same. All they would need to prove is that they're actively looking for work. I don't see that as a problem. They quote on the front page of The Independent a quote from Doreen Lawrence today that says, the fact is that racism and racist attacks are still happening in this country. The police should not use my son's name to say that we can move on, i.e. let us not forget. I like a bit of a drink, so I'll have a few drinks, and then, of course, the next day you're going, I want a carb sandwich, you know, so a chip sandwich with, you know... Well, you know, it is, with a pasta on the side or something. The only reason they were caught is because some neighbours, you know, happened to see this little car and thought, that's a bit odd, why is that hanging about? And thankfully, called the police.
She'll be hugely grateful for her neighbours,
absolutely.
That's for sure.
That's when you want your nosy neighbours, don't you?
Absolutely.
Surely, if they're saying that this is going to overtake any kind of essence of what should be this championship about, surely you'd have to get rid of him so that it would be out the way.
Very good point.
I was made redundant last year, and I was not working for the first time ever, and it was a real sort of shock to the system. And I was lucky because I didn't have to worry too much with a nice redundancy check about finding a job immediately. But because I wasn't working and my daughter was at school all day, what did I do? I started to slightly focus, rather unhealthily, on finding a man. And I started doing the internet dating and all of that. And it became a real focus. Now that I'm busy again, I'm working again, and I'm sort of involved here and everything, it's taken a much sort of back step. That doesn't mean, however, punters, that I'm not still looking available. Please send all applicants carefully. Balanced diet, glass of red in one, glass of white in the other. That's 2 of your 5 a day.
Yeah, exactly.